He who casts.
Yeah.
First,
of course, same concept. But I think some people make that their life's mission. Who's doing wrong today? Let me. Oh yeah, all right. You know you're not supposed to be like that's. But I think that's something deeper. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people in church need therapy. You know what I'm saying? Need to be balanced in real life. That's what this Saturday night, Sunday morning thing is about.
Yeah.
Normalizing balance in life. Because sometimes you're so spiritual that it's like no earthly good. Mm-hmm. And that wasn't Jesus. So it's like, who are you actually following?
What it is, what it ain't, what it could be, what it should be, what it will be. Cam Newton, the son, Mr. Boogie Doll, here with another episode of Funky Friday. And ladies and gentlemen, I promise, I really do promise to give it good content for the masses. But most of all, I just promise to always keep it funky. I'm going to enjoy this one because we have so many similarities. And dare I say trauma bond. But we're going to compare and contrast his upbringing and my upbringing as well. And let's see if we can meet in the middle somewhere. My next guest is a 6-time Grammy Award-winning singer, producer, and songwriter, musician, brother, father, husband, a preacher's kid, and the black guy in Maroon 5. I present to some and introduce to others, Mr. PJ Morton.
My God. Thank you for having me, big dog. Yes, sir.
Man, what, like... I was trying to hold myself back from talking in pre-production as well here, but
right. We was about to just get straight to it. Yeah.
How are you?
I'm good.
Let's start.
Start there. No, I'm doing great. Mm-hmm. I'm doing great, man. We right in the middle of a tour. You know what I'm saying? And they told me I was gonna be able to come see you, man, and I was excited about it.
Look at God.
Yeah.
God is good. You know, it didn't dawn on me that as we were doing pre-production with the producers and John A. specifically, I did not know. I didn't put 2 and 2 together.
Really?
Open the floodgates.
Oh, my pops. Yeah.
Let it rain. Boy, so many people turn their life over to God with that song right there.
Yeah, Gospel Purple Rain. Yeah.
What? Let it. I'm talking about tears. I'm talking about confessions. No Usher.
Right.
This was such a beautiful song.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's your daddy?
That's my pops, man. Yeah, it's crazy. And I used to travel with him, you know, not until I joined the band did I stop traveling with my dad. That's what I would do. So we would do Let It Rain all over the world. And I saw it touch people and just being able to spend that time with him. But it's incredible, man. I mean, he's such a huge example for, you know, so much of what I ended up doing, you know. But watching him do that, but Let It Rain, that was one of them ones, man.
Can we just stay right here, because this is what people don't understand about church, okay? Mm-hmm. Church can be labeled a biker gang. It could be labeled a sorority, a fraternity, a group, an affiliation, a cult, whatever you want to call it. Gang, clan, whatever. Mm-hmm. Why do I say that? It's because I'm so curious to know when y'all will go to other churches, and y'all was like, come on now, y'all don't hear me, let's represent it here. And it was just like a whole takeover. And the visiting church would have to show up and show out, you know, from the music, to the praise dance. And the hosting church would be like, I know y'all ain't gonna allow them to mime better than us, sing better than us. And it's just like, rep your set. Holy Zion, set down deliverance. It's just like, where y'all from? Like, apostle. Like, it's an emotion.
Yeah.
That nobody talks about.
Yeah.
That it's an unspoken word that I could only imagine your father traveling other places.
Yeah.
What was that like for you guys to go to other churches and to receive that welcome?
Man, I mean, my dad has been so loved, you know what I'm saying, and like cherished. So like it would always be like welcome with open arms, and they knew he was bringing me, right? So he had his musician with him. So like all the other musicians at these churches were like they knew I was coming. You know, we were the homeboy. Yeah, you know what I'm saying. So either I have them play with me or they just watching me because they know I'm coming. And we, you know. Yeah. You like trade notes. I'm watching the organist. I'm like, oh, he's nice. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Watching what he's doing. He's watching what I'm doing. And but like, yeah, I've seen my pops like go to these churches and I mean bring it all in, like change the whole atmosphere. You know what I'm saying? With what he was doing, stuff like you're talking about. I mean, especially at our home church, you know, or when he was going to visit another local church, he's like, y'all don't embarrass me, you know. As many members that can come, I need y'all to come with me to represent. But no, it is kind of like that. You know, when we did Full Gospel, the conferences and stuff, that was churches from all over in one place. And you kind of feel the different churches and what they do or what they're known for or what their pastor's known for. So it's interesting. It's just like a whole other world, you know, that people wouldn't be privy to if you're not like in it, you know? Yeah.
But has church changed though?
I think so. I mean,
in that degree of like a collaborative effort without it being up under the branch of that sector.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
I think that church has changed for a lot of reasons. Just in general, just the world, right? Social media, just the way online, you know, just I think there's been more of a disconnect now, you know, the community aspect of it, the people aspect of it. I mean, church was my life growing up. I mean, it was my friends were there, like everybody was there. And I think it's lost kind of the, and I won't say every church, but I think the idea of church has changed a lot. Because of just how the world has evolved. And it's a lot more separate. But I think that's the case in music. I mean, you know, selling 1 million a week used to be possible because we were all tuned into one thing. You know, we had NBC, you know, ABC, CBS, and those were the three you could watch. So it's like you could maximize something. I think it's so separated and broken up now that you start to lose some of those recipes that had us together the way we were.
And just to be clear, I'm asking through the collaborative dynamic where Church of God in Christ may collab with another pastor, bishop, evangelist that was Pentecostal, that was Baptist.
Oh yeah.
And, you know, me growing up in church, we would do that all the time. And one year, you know, we would go to West Palm Beach. And then another year, West Palm Beach will come to Atlanta.
Oh, yeah, it was important.
It was, the more that I grew into understanding the behind the scenes of church, it ended up being like a fundraiser for both churches. You know, where I didn't grow up in a mega church. It was very small, very intimate, right? Where we will probably have anywhere from 50 to 75 loyal, like, members.
Yeah.
So the mega church experience I did not have. This was, we know everybody T. We know, you know, Sister so-and-so just brought another person or brother so-and-so done bought another, and the pettiness between, wasn't they at the Christmas tea? Like,
yeah, whole soap opera.
Bro.
Yeah.
Where was Tubi? Where was Netflix then? Like, bro, this was a reality TV show in the church.
No.
But the collaborative effort of churches aligning, maybe I'm tone deaf.
And I may be a little bit too. You know, I'm not like, just because of what I do, how much I travel, how much I'm not in it like I was, you know. But what you're saying is true. I mean, I remember my dad bringing Bishop Jakes, you know, and bringing Noel Jones and stuff like that, or traveling with them, and that was they were all different reformations, you know. It wasn't the same thing. But I think for my dad, that was important at that time. He wanted, you know, his congregation to feel other things, you know, and to feel things outside of what we were. So, but I honestly couldn't speak to the collaboration today, I'm not exactly sure. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
And to me, church looks different and in a positive way because it's so accessible now. Social media, YouTube.
That's the gift of the internet. I mean, the gift and the curse, right?
Sure.
Is more access, but then it also is access to everything else. Yeah.
And to see the old school ministry kind of get hip to it. Is that on? Okay, all the people that's watching all across the world, it ain't nothing but four folks. You know what I'm saying? I would like to introduce you guys to Holy Zion Center of Deliverance, where I'm the presiding bishop in charge. God is calling me to collect the offering. We have Cash App. We don't do IOUs or EBTs. Let God use you. Don't let the devil abuse you. Those certain passages of saying and the gift of gab is something that was always bestowed through either watching my dad or the deacons or the evangel. It just, that church element. Not to belabor and staying on church, I think as we kind of navigate this whole idea of who PJ Morton is, how many times, and this will probably be one of probably two given questions that has to be asked, that you speak about being the black member of Maroon 5.
How many times?
Yes.
Man, I mean, anytime I got to talk about what I do, you know what I'm saying, and who I am in my career, I mean, I have to talk about it each time because it's always a shock to people, really, unless they really follow me. It's a big shock. So I'm always, they're like, it's a black dude? Like, I didn't even know. Yeah, hold on. Did they sneak you in there? And I think it's partly because I wasn't there in the beginning. I've been there 16 years. Today, actually, 16 years. But you know, I don't lead with that. The same way I never led with who my dad was. I walked in these rooms as PJ. It's like I didn't want a crutch, you know what I'm saying? So I walk in these rooms as PJ, even in Maroon 5. So if someone's a fan of me, they don't know unless they just know.
But
yeah.
How did that come about? Because it's like I see that's not of God tattoos. But, you know,
I got my first one across the street from the church when I was
crazy.
16. Yeah.
Nasty.
yeah, like, PK stuff. Like, hold on, it's a tattoo shop over there. Let's go across the street. Yeah.
Why you wearing gloves?
Yeah. Oh, I didn't show my parents for like 8 years or something like that. Yeah.
Dang. But how did that gig kind of present itself? And there's a follow-up to that.
Yeah. That specific gig, I was kind of just like doing my own thing. I was like independent, doing my independent soul stuff on the road. I got a call from my friend, huge music director now. I mean, we started out together, but at that time we were just making it up through the ranks. But it's Adam Blackstone, who's my guy. But it actually started out because Maroon 5 was looking to get Questlove to come in and work on the live show. And this was 16 years ago, so the Roots had just gotten Jimmy Fallon. It wasn't even the Tonight Show yet. They got Fallon. And so Amir couldn't do it, recommended Adam Blackstone, and Adam got the gig, right? But then they asked Adam, do you know any keyboard players that can sing? We're looking for some extra keys. He was like, done. I know the guy who could play and sing. He called me. He like, P, would you want to be in Maroon 5? You want to tour with Maroon 5? I'm like, yeah, I love Maroon. Like, I love Maroon 5. And at that time, I was kind of burnt out on my thing anyway. So I'm like, I'll take it's a welcomed, like, let me switch it up. Hang up. I'm like, y'all, I guess I'm about to do Maroon 5. Then he called back. He's like, man, they want you to audition.
Dang.
He was like, because they don't know you and it could go another way. And I'm like, all right. So at that point, I had never done an audition because, you know, I'm PJ and usually it's word of mouth, right? So I'm on my tour. I cancel the last 3 dates of my tour and I go to LA. They tell me to learn Sunday morning. I learned Sunday morning. It's pretty simple. But I could tell when I walked in the room, just the vibe. I'm like, these feel like my my musician friends. Like, they just felt like, not knowing they'd been a band since 8th grade, like kids that grew up together. So I play Sunday morning. They're like, well, what else you know? I'm like, I know, this church.
I'm in the church. I can just keep a
I know this one. Hold on. It's really what it was. And we start jamming, actually. And it's almost like they forgot. And then they told me later, that they canceled the next day of auditions and all of that. But we started just playing, and they was like, oh man, we actually got other people we got to see. But I kind of knew, like, it just felt good. Yeah. So they saw the rest of the people that day and called me as soon as I got to my hotel room, like, you're in the band. And I didn't know how long that was gonna last. I was just supposed to do a tour. Yeah. And then, it turned into 16 years.
Dang, 16 years later. 16 years, find out that, like, no. But I chuckle because you got to audition. Now, not knowing your skill set, but do you think it had anything to do with how you looked?
Honestly, I don't. It was a bunch of people auditioning.
Okay.
I think it was.
And I hate to bring race in.
No, for sure.
But I'm like, Maroon 5
we
don't look like PJ.
No, not at all.
So when I see Adam, PJ, they looked at your cue card.
We got to see.
Yeah, we got to see.
No. If you know them, though, some Cali boys, some of the coolest white boys out here. Mm-hmm. These are my fam. They've taken care of me. You know,
was about to say these my niggas.
no, but they have taken care of, like, they care, man. That's why I've been there 16 years. Not just because of the gig. Not
for sure.
They let me know my worth, man, and really have shown me that.
That's so refreshing.
So I don't think it was that. I literally think it's like, if you know what touring is, it's like, dang, we don't know him at all. We should just meet him. Mm-hmm. Because you spending so much time together. Mm-hmm. You were in each other's space for months at a time. And I think it was literally like, all right, we know he can play. Yeah. We know he could sing. Let's just kind of feel it in the room. And it was like almost immediate.
Did you ever have a moment where, like, not that they were challenging your skill, but this was a opportunity for you to kind of showcase, like, oh, I'm a real professional here?
Yeah, I think for me, I didn't know what to expect. So it was my first audition in life. You know what I'm saying? And
your first interview, in essence. Yeah. Was it?
Yeah.
How old were you?
I was 23. Yeah, 23. No. I was 28. 28. Yeah, because it was right before P3. And so this was later in life. I had been doing my thing already. Yeah. It wasn't like
you were established.
I was new. Yeah, I was established in my own world.
Yes.
So I had never had to audition. It was weird. So it was just like, but because it was so new, that I said, how can you even, like what you're saying, showing my skill set? It's Sunday morning. It's dun, dun, dun. It's simple. So it's almost like you can't do too much. So in my mind, I'm like, just be yourself. Just go. Like, it's only so much you could do. Because what you don't want to do is, like, overplay Sunday morning.
For sure.
Because then it's like, what? That ain't what we want. Play the record.
Do too much.
Yeah. So I couldn't prepare, really. I just was like, all right, they want me to learn Sunday morning. I'm going to just be my cool self as a person. Because what I realized is that was more important than the plan. Everybody who was going to audition could play.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Now, the follow-up question is, knowing this stranger, so to speak, off of who you genuinely are as the person, when was the moment that they found out who you were?
Man, that is so funny. I think it was, because I remember this moment, because I had to leave a rehearsal for my show. I had basically like my first show in LA since I was in the band. And I was playing the Troubadour, and I'm like, y'all, if you can, come to the show. And so it was my normal, like I said, established in my world. So when you come to my shows, this is still to this day, if somebody's not familiar, they looking at, people singing these, like, were these hit songs like that I just did? Yeah. Like, they singing every word. It's really like that vibe. And I remember them coming to that show. Adam came and performed with me on stage. I think James played that night from the band too. But I remember
impromptu.
Yeah, but after that day, because we had a song that I had written together with Adam, and it feels like after that day, because I really didn't say anything. I'm here to do. I'm
here to work, bro.
That's that service though from church. Like it's like, listen, I'm here to serve here.
Yeah.
I'm not. It's not really about PJ. I don't need to talk. And so I invited him to that show, and I feel like the day after that show, it was like, oh, okay. Oh,
it makes sense.
I ain't really, I ain't know that. Okay, yeah, and
which is
it was
even
a good
more
vibe.
like
It was rewarding, to know that I didn't force it, and I let that come to them, and to this day I never really wanted to ask for anything, And when I say they take care of me, it's like when I did my Young Money album, I'm like, I really need y'all now, like this is, and so they let me open the tour. I did double duty. I opened as PJ Morton, Kelly Clarkson in the middle, and then I closed with Maroon 5. Like, this is stuff that they just didn't have to do. It wasn't no other black soul R&B artists opening up for Maroon 5 and Kelly Clarkson. Did the same thing in Europe with Robin Thicke and Maroon. And so, man, it's been a journey, you know what I'm saying? For sure. But those guys have like really been behind me on like every step of the way.
It's so cool to hear.
Yeah.
Have you ever invited them to church?
Mickey asked me to go to church one time. I mean, because they're in LA, so it was an opportunity. I remember one of the guys in the band though happened to be in New Orleans and asked me asked me if he could go to church because he wanted to hear the music though. You know what I'm saying? Usually that's the gateway.
Fair.
Yeah, that's the gateway. Well, my dad's church was like that. I
believe it.
Like a lot of Europeans would come in. They just like they heard about the music and they like. We just,
respectfully, the Pied Piper of gospel.
Yeah, in a way, I guess so. I mean, what that's tied to, but I hear you.
The origin of Pied Piper was bringing people.
No, for sure, but no, it was that thing. It was like usually, the word is what got them once they're there. But I think, especially my dad specifically, because he was so much about music, is that. The music would draw people, whether they believed in God, were Christians or not. It was like, I feel this. Yeah. Whether you know what I'm saying?
Now, I'm curious to know, like, the modernization of church and remembering that the Purple Rain, Let It Rain, and Bishop Paul Morton's kind of stamp was always affiliating choir. In this new version of church in these days, it's almost like come as you are. Everybody has a mic. There's no really solo act.
Groups,
It's just like you get a solo, everybody gets a solo, and we all back each other up. Type of rendition. Does your father's church still incorporate a new side, or is it still with the choir?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a mixture, right? Because my dad he was a part of the new. He was kind of like in the front of the new. Full gospel, which is the Reformation that he started, was bridging the gap, because what happened, he grew up a Cajun kid, but then moved to New Orleans. My dad's from Canada, Windsor, Ontario, Canada. So right across from Detroit, So he grew up with the Winans, with the Clark sisters, all in Detroit. They used to go to my grandfather's church and stuff. My grandfather passed before I was born, but then my dad moved to New Orleans and started to pastor a Baptist church. So it was two different worlds. You know what I'm saying? Like I think for him, it was always about finding some connection. But as far as I mean, like the timeliness of church, my dad was kind of at the beginning of that. That was like, he was one of the thought leaders in that, and then the praise and worship and stuff. William Murphy, Bishop Murphy now, but all came up under Full Gospel. So that praise and worship and stuff was my dad, but he never left. Like even now, if you go to my dad's choir, you're gonna get that praise and worship. You're gonna get that new of it, but then you're also gonna get choir, and you're gonna hear a hymn. You know what I'm saying? And so I think for him, it was always about that balance.
Yeah, that's so refreshing because I'm a big fan of William Murphy. My younger brother took me with him when he was visiting their church, and just so many different bangers during praise and worship. And I was kicking myself. I'm like, bro, I'm always late. I only got to experience like 3 or 4 songs. I wanted to see the whole album. You know what I mean? It's just like, bro, you can get in a phase, and that's the thing that I think a lot of people are drawn to. And just to piggyback off what you were saying, like people want music to speak to them, and it's no judgment there. No matter if you, whatever ethnicity, whatever race or gender, it's just like when you're in a good praise and worship and don't let you be going through something.
Yeah, it can hit you. It can hit you right there.
Oh, Lord, boy. And I just love that about church more than anything. But my question is, Adam Levine is the front man, and y'all are playing in front of 60,000 to 70,000 people. Was there ever a version of you that wanted to be the closer?
Yes. Oh, yeah, for sure. I think one of the fascinating things for me about joining Maroon 5, because I mean, I am the closer in my world, right?
Yep.
But there was a vision of that, of being in front of 60,000 people, 80,000 people. I mean, we've been in front of, you go to South America, 100,000 people, where you can't even see the end of people. And, I thought that being in the band was just gonna automatically make me just want that, just like mirror that, like, okay, I wanna do that in my solo thing. But what it did was like free me. Because it's like, it gave me that. So it's like, oh, I'm getting that from this perspective. I'm in this band that's very successful, and we get to do this. So I can make my art in a way that's even freer, because I don't have that same thing to prove. And sometimes you never get to look under the hood of that top 2% of success. Right? So you think you want it so bad because you don't have it. And so I feel like God even was like, here, I know you wanted this, so here you can have this, but then you can also, now purpose, that's when kind of like my stuff solo became more purpose driven. I mean, it was always a message and stuff, but like, it was like, okay, I'm doing this for even a bigger reason, because I know what it feels like to have a #1 hit. Or 5 in a row. You know what I'm saying? I know what it's like to play the Super Bowl. I know what it's like to play the Oscars. I know what it's, so I don't have to chase it necessarily, even though I'm not getting it as the front man. This is a band. We we together. I'm in there. I'm in the picture. You know what I'm saying? And so it really freed me to be able to make my art in a different way, where it was like no pressure. It's like I could sell no records. I could be in front of no people.
Still be good.
And still be good, because I'm making something in a really honest way. And so that was not what I expected. I thought that it was gonna be like, I mean, I want this. I want everything this is. And I always want to be successful, obviously. You know what I'm saying? I want as many people as possible to hear my music and be touched by it. But it's not the same. It's not the same motivation or the same like need for it, because I've been able to be in this successful outfit for 16
You know
years.
what's rather interesting with looking at your resume? Not only do you have a titan as a father, in the gospel genre, you have a titan as a group in the pop genre in Maroon 5. But then you segue into YMCMB, Young Money, with a titan in Lil Wayne.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, a kaleidoscope of different colors and like, yo, what is this?
Yeah.
Like a unicorn in so many different ways, just to be able to delve into so many different audiences, communities, and still thrive. What was that transition to Young Money? And I hear that you and Mac Main went to school together.
Went to high school together. Yeah, I think that's what this Saturday night, Sunday morning thing was all about. I think because I've always led with love and really with openness, openness, like not blocking myself from things because of what they're perceived to be. It's like, I'm gonna be myself wherever I am.
Yeah.
And but that transition was kind of like, so it was the year after I joined Maroon 5. What's so crazy about that, I don't know if Mac remembers this story, but like I was with my dad. This is the year before I joined Maroon 5. I'm with my dad in Miami. He's preaching somewhere in Miami. And Mac picks me up. We go, he picks me up from my hotel. And we're listening to the radio, and Maroon 5's new single comes on. It's like, I think at that time it was Misery, and from their new album. And I'm like, oh man, I just heard this new Maroon. And Mac's like, that's my favorite band. Boom, just like a throwaway conversation. A
stoplight convo.
Yeah, exactly. And that's actually when Wayne was still in jail, and Mac was start talking to me about like wanting to diversify Young Money and do some different things. And we start talking about me signing before I got Maroon 5. It didn't happen. I joined Maroon 5, his favorite band, and then we continued talking.
Correct.
And then the deal, Wayne gets out, we talk, and I signed the Young Money. But it wasn't it seemed random to everybody else because they didn't know me and Mac had a relationship. It just wasn't totally random, but I see how it looked crazy because it's like, what's this soul dude signing to Young Money? Like, and that was it. I mean, that's the height too. I mean, that's Nicki, Drake, Wayne, Tyga. Everybody going crazy all at once. That's when I could get those YMCMB hoodies
for sure,
and I couldn't keep them. Like people yo, can you?
Between that and Truck Fit,
it was serious.
It was a movement that, my God, you just had to be in Miami.
Yeah.
This was the big three: Chris Bosh, Wade.
It was a time, man, and so I was a part of a winning team, But what the credit I give Young Money. Cash Money is that what people didn't realize is why the acts were successful. Like Wayne, obviously, started as a kid, but he was always eccentric, you know what I'm saying? Always doing weird stuff, making noises, in that Missy world, one of his favorite rappers. But then they didn't really try to change you. Like if they sign you for you, right? Nicki was different, voices, all the characters, they didn't try to change her. Drake came in, they didn't try to say, okay, now that you with us, let me give you this producer. They let him stay with 40. It's like, we like you is what you do. And so for me, it was the very same thing. They didn't hear my album until it was done, and it was like, here's the album. They didn't try to change anything. If anything, it was me, like I wanted Wayne on the single. I'm like, just trying to maximize me being there because I had been independent up to that point. So it was like a learning experience. What I realized was just like that soul pace, that R&B pace was just so different from rap. You know what I'm saying? Like I couldn't do a mixtape every month. Like it take me time to make these songs. Bro, you know what I mean?
It takes different emotions, experiences.
Correct. And my touring was like, you got to tour to become that. You know what I mean? For them, it's like, no, you tour after you all the way popping. And I'm like, so it was some disconnects there, but even the way I was able to leave was no hassle. It's like, I don't think this the right fit. And I asked to leave, and it's still love. You know what I'm saying? I just saw Mac not too long ago. Yeah.
Now, were you able to tour? Because I would guess that experience, from starting out with Dad, you know what I'm saying, going to other churches, to now in front of thousands of people at Maroon, and then experiencing the rebirth of Lil Wayne, as this juggernaut group, going through so many different aspects of touring to a degree. Starting off with your dad, going and visiting other churches or other churches hosting or whatever, and going to Maroon 5, being independent, then experiencing, Young Money. Those after parties, after performance kind of gatherings was a little different. What do you care to share of the differences of certain things? Because I'm like, Adam Levine, Bishop, Lil Wayne, they doing a little different, rendezvous.
No, for sure. No, it was all different environments. And it was stuff before that, as a writer producer. I've been, with so many rooms I had been in. My very first tour out of Morehouse was Erykah Badu. So that was my start of touring. But the Maroon guys always told me I caught them late in the game. You know what I'm saying? I didn't catch the super wild years. You know what I'm saying? They were a little older. They were like settling in a little bit more. But I mean, I've never had a problem just being myself. With Wayne and them, I wasn't really on tour with them.
Okay.
I was doing my own thing. It was such a separate thing that I never was with them on tour. I mean, I've been to their tours, and it was wild. It's so crazy. We played Detroit one time, the same venue. Wayne played the night before. It was that Wayne Rick Ross tour, and then Maroon played the next day.
The crowd.
Bruh, I'm just saying, it was like so night and day. It was crazy. It seemed like, I don't know, a movie, how crazy, like Gotham City or something backstage, right? With Wayne and them, all a million buses, whatever. Then Maroon the next day, we might as well had like a violin playing. It was so like chill compared to it, like seeing it that back to back like that. But yeah, I mean, for me, I think you always have a choice in those, you know, I never felt like pressured, you know what I'm saying, to be in anything. I've seen it all, I've been around it all, but I mean, for me, it wasn't really a thing, you know what I'm saying? I always felt like comfortable.
Yeah, what was intriguing to hear, and I say this jokingly, trauma bonding over church.
Yeah.
All right, as you know, you mentioned you being 15, getting your first gig and getting an excused absence from coming to church.
Oh, yeah.
My excused absence was football.
Yes, sir.
Like if we had like a game out of state, you know
Big
what I'm saying?
deal, though.
It was just like, bro, I was like, I'm getting away with something, like not going to church. And, you know, Pop's gonna call right after, Mama gonna call too. Like they didn't call me, they was calling the parents and say, hey, your mom's on the phone. It's like, hey, mom, like, yeah, I'm good, I'm all right.
Yeah.
And nowadays, everybody got a cell phone as early as 4 years old. And, you know, but as you were coming up in church and having that impact, or your father having that much impact, having, you know, so many, you know, whether members or, you know, just people or influence, how was that able to be? Like, hey, I'm going to miss this at the age of 15.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, House of Blues, man. House of Blues Sunday brunch. Man, this is my first gig. Is my drummer too. He's still my drummer to this day. But we've been playing since I was 12. And man, we were playing for the groups on Sundays, and it felt like, and I got a little check too, you know? So it was a big deal. It was a big deal. And at 15, I wasn't like the main musician yet. So I could get away, but it was like a thing though. It's like, Dad, I gotta miss church. I got a gig. You know what I mean? The boy gotta work, man.
That's
So
it.
yeah, but my dad was always support. I think I'm so grateful, man. Especially when I compare it to a lot of my friends' experiences, and PKs all the time come to me and ask, like, how did you? Because I've represented freedom for a lot of PKs, you know. But because my dad was a musician himself, I think it was some level of understanding of like, yeah, you gotta go work, you know. Like I know, but that was my first time like missing church officially. Fast forward all the way through college, all of that. Still not missing church because I'm playing for churches as I'm in college. It's like, yeah, you at school, but like on Sundays you go play at the church.
So those two things, I'm sorry to cut you off.
Yeah, no, you good.
But even with those two things, the first thing that I kind of thought about was, what version of your dad gets misunderstood?
You know what? I think I just told my son this, P3. I got a namesake too. Yeah. And I was telling him, he was going through some stuff, and I'm like, bro, you know you could talk to me. Like, your dad has seen everything. Like, you know, I've been through everything. There's nothing like you can shock me with. You know what I'm saying?
How old is he?
He's 15.
Okay.
Nothing you could shock me with. Like, come to me. I was like, that's my dad. I was like, I used to think, oh, bishop, pastor.
What does he know?
Yeah, he knows literally everything. And he's helped. I mean, my dad used to bail everybody out of jail when I was a kid. He used to, you know, he was that person. So even if he hadn't gone through it himself, he's that person who is the ear for everybody. So my dad, I used to think that I couldn't come to him with stuff. So I think that's what's misconstrued. Oh, the bishop. Oh, like when he start coming, that's freed a lot of people when he start coming to my shows, because they like, oh, wait, we could go to an R&B show. So I think it's just his balance that people didn't understand, because of course the position he's in, you just think, but he's a human and a person that's seen and heard everything.
Yeah.
So I think that is a misconception of my dad. Of like, I just saw him on an interview not too long ago, and he was joking and laughing. It's like, yeah, they don't really get to see this side of him, man. You know, that's all he wants to do is laugh. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so I think the balanced side of him is what people miss.
And you know, as we continue to talk, right? You talked about you and Mac Main's high school. You went to an all-boys school in both high school and college, which is crazy to think about. So St. Augustine in New Orleans, then Morehouse here in Atlanta. A lot of music greats came from St. Aug. You got John Batiste, Luke James, Frank Ocean. Wow. Yeah,
Frank went for a minute. Yeah.
And then, you know, from the football dynamic, Tyrann Mathieu, Honey Badger, Leonard Fournette, they did exceptionally well at LSU.
Yep.
For people who don't know, talk about school and what it means, you know, to New Orleans for that St. Augustine to be a staple of rich talent.
Man, so much history, both of them. I call, like, St. Aug baby Morehouse. You know, once I got to Morehouse, I was like, oh, like I was already prepared for this. It was super important in my, like, in my upbringing, you know, because it's all black. And so I think that pride is, you have close enough quarters where you can instill that pride and, like, really see what a brother is, you know what I'm saying? And honestly, no girls at school during school, because I mean, they was at the gate where you know what I'm saying, as soon as you got out. But, like, no girls in school allowed you to not just focus on what you were doing. Like, you ain't have to, you ain't really care. You know what I'm saying? It's like these guys, I ain't tripping. Like, I can come to class bummy today. I mean, the school prides themselves on being clean and, like, you know what I'm saying?
Tidy.
Yeah, for sure. But I mean, at a point, the football players and all of that, you know, Ed played for my drummer. It's like, man, not today. Like, I don't care. You know what I'm saying? And it's nothing but niggas here. You know what I'm saying? I'm good. But man, such, like, because I get to my son is there now. P3's there at St. Aug. And man, just seeing the history of it. And it's connected. I mean, first integrated basketball game, St. Aug, you know what I'm saying? Where we got to play against Jesuit and like, just so much history.
Yeah.
And then Morehouse, man, which my oldest son is at Morehouse, Jakai, and walking those campuses and seeing, like, the impact, man, of the lineage. You know, when they start to tell you what you're connected to Martin Luther King. Spike Lee came to my class when I was at Morehouse and just hung with us and just talked to us. But being able to have access to those people, I think access is the thing that just makes the difference in anything, you know? But so much history, and, like, I'm super grateful. Like, even when I see Mac Main now, it's like our brotherhood was deeper than Young Money, you know what I'm saying, because of that experience. And so many more, you know. But yeah, no, it was super important.
I want to kind of go back to something real quick and to highlight your album, Saturday Nights, Sunday Mornings. Such a poetic phrase for anybody who come from the cloth, touched, graced by the cloth, and is trying to do right in their own life.
Yeah.
Because no matter what Friday nights and Saturday nights possess you to do.
Yeah, you better be.
You better be in there. I'm trying to tell you. Hey, I got to go to church. I'll link up with y'all after church. Hold on. It's 2.
Yeah.
Man, that morning going to be crazy, but I got to go to church.
Yeah.
People don't know the pressure of having that obedience to, number one, showing up for church. And I can hear my grandmother's voice now. Y'all don't do God like that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I done seen you leave this house dressed to impress a girl that you're never gonna meet.
Yeah, y'all cheering at the football games. Like, you can't give God praise.
You can't. And this is how you show up for God.
Yeah.
Shame on you. And it was, so those sounds, tones, and reminders of, like, yo. So when I heard the album, I'm like, bro, that's somebody who knew,
Yeah.
you know, what the responsibility was, and why that title?
Man, it's kind of just a title that I used to describe me. It wasn't supposed to be an album initially. Well, when I said the title, it like popped out at me. And I mean, my degree at Morehouse is marketing, right? So like, I know when something pops. So I was just like, Saturday night, Sunday morning, I don't even have to explain it. You say it and it's just like, dang, I know exactly what you're saying with those two words. But for me, it was gonna be a documentary initially. Then I did my memoir and I said, well, let me call it that. Cause it just describes me in so many ways, you know, what are perceived as contradictions maybe, or however you look at them. But like, I'm both Saturday night, Sunday morning. So with the album though, I kind of wanted to explicitly put them together because I've done it. I've been a writer, producer in gospel music. You know, I've won Best Gospel Album, you know, at the Grammys. I won Best R&B Song, you know what I'm saying? I've won Album of the Year. I've participated in these things in all sides. Yeah. But the unspoken rule is like, okay, but you don't really put them together though. Like this, let's not mix it.
It's like
don't
food.
have the food touching.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The mashed potatoes and the mac and cheese, the starches.
Exactly, but my point has always been, yo, when I write this R&B song and I write this gospel song, I'm not like putting on my gospel hat, you know, to write this song and like, oh, now it's R&B time. Let me unbutton some buttons to write this one. No, it's like I'm PJ in both of these. And, you know, it was hard for me to reconcile growing up that I got this pastor of a father, but my dad and my mom are fully in love. You know what I'm saying? 50 years this year. And like, I'm like, okay, so you go through the process of falling in love. You think my mom is fine. You ask her out. You do all of these things, but if I turn that life into a song, then it somehow becomes secular and against whatever my faith is supposed to be.
As if, well, I don't want to say it. I don't want to.
No, I'm just playing, whatever you, no, but.
As if to say, holy folks ain't hunching. Once August hits, it feels like life just picks right back up. Vacation slowed down, the calendar starts filling up, and you're back moving every single day. Your routine gets easier once you don't have to think as hard for deciding what you're gonna wear. And that's why I rock with Macy's. I like those everyday staples that you can just throw on, a clean knit polo, a pair of sweats, lightweight jacket for those mornings that start hot but end cool. And it's that one little detail that pulls everything together, like a good watch, a quality belt, and the right accessories. Plus, if you need any help pulling it all together, Macy's has free personal stylists who help you build your whole look. Because getting back to routine doesn't mean that your style has to take a step back. Man, as a parent, you sure do want your kid to learn about managing money, but you also want to know what's going on. And that's the main reason why I love Cash App. For teens 13 to 17, with sponsorship by eligible guardian or parent, every purchase made with their Cash App card sends you a real-time notification. They get to build independent. At the same time, you get peace of mind. You can manage everything from your Cash App account, and if the card is ever lost, guess what? You can lock it with just one tap. And here it is. There's no monthly fees, no minimum balance requirement, and no hidden charges. Download Cash App today and sponsor your teen. Visit the link in the bio. Cash App is a financial service platform, not a bank. Banking services provided by Cash App's bank's partner. Prepaid debit cards issued by Southern Bank member FDIC. Cash App Visa debit flex cards issued by Southern Bank member FDIC and the Bancorp Bank N.A. pursuant to a license from Visa USA Inc. See terms and conditions for Sutton prepaid card, Sutton debit flex card, and Bancorp debit flex card savings provided by Cash App A Block Inc. brand. Visit cash.app/legal/podcast for full disclosures.
Come on, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, we just got to be honest. And so what I was writing was a reflection of life. I mean, that's what the art was for me. That's why I didn't want to box myself in as a gospel artist, because I wanted to be able to talk about whatever I wanted to talk about. But from the love point, you know, specifically, I'm like, well, I'm seeing these things happen. I'm seeing these people dating. I'm seeing these people get engaged, getting married. Love, you know, I see love in the Bible. I mean, love is biblical. So at what point did someone say that gospel music is only God's music?
Yeah.
And so for me, I wanted to start that conversation even more. I mean, I wrote a book years ago called Why Can't I Sing About Love? And in that foreword, my dad said, look, I wasn't listening to Amazing Grace when I was trying to date your mom.
Trying to get some Amazing Grace.
And I hope not. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's not the vibe. And so, but for me, it was like, okay, but if I want to listen to that, I'm going to listen to whatever R&B artist.
Yeah.
But you saying a believer can't make that music?
Yeah.
And so it was just very confusing as a kid who loved all types of music.
And let's talk about it because, like, I think there's a world where being in church, you can be so holier than thou.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I've experienced it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And I want to know, like, was there ever a time where you felt that your desire was going against the grain and people were going against that?
Oh, yeah. Oh, man, for sure. In the beginning, man, when I would feel these, because it's like, you know, it was in the closet at first when I was writing these other songs, right? Like, I'm like, y'all hear these gospel songs, but I'm writing these R&B songs and just kind of keeping them to myself, you know? Because I felt like it was wrong. I mean, I felt like it was wrong. And I got to a point where I said, all right, if this is wrong, I need to see it. I need to read it, you know. So I went to the scriptures that people say, you know, you can't serve two masters. You know, that was one that was used all the time. And then when I read it in context, I'm like, well,
it was taken completely out of context.
That's not what this is talking about.
Nor is my heart in that wave of serving.
Yeah, and so, you know, that was more in context of money, you know. But all the things I went to look for, I said, and then I read Song of Solomon, and I'm like, oh, this is like explicit. Like, this is like some of this. If I just wrote an album based on, if I used the words in Song of Solomon, you would be like, oh, this some wild
that
R&B.
Ain't of God.
Yeah. And so what I realized, and this is what I said in that book, is like, you know, we always hear faith comes by hearing, right? And I believe that faith comes by hearing, even if you hear the wrong thing over and over. And I think that became tradition. So I think with me being my dad's son and confronting him with this, he had to take a real look at it. And I think when he took a real look at it, it was like, well, yeah, I guess not. I guess if you're still able to maintain your faith and talk about these the same way I was able to maintain my faith and date your mom or whatever, you know, I don't see anything. And he became my biggest supporter. And then for me, I didn't really care. You know, it's like when your dad got your back. I was like, I don't really care. Yeah, I'm Superman now.
But this is, and I have a follow-up question to that.
Yeah.
But this is my challenge to church, in whatever denomination. I would like to challenge, because I grew up in a time where obedience was reigned supreme, and it still reigns supreme in my house. Mm-hmm. But I think my children taught me this, which is a valid question. But why?
Yeah.
And it's not blasphemic. It's not because I said so is a valid answer. It's like, no, let's talk about it.
Actually, yeah, that's the new school, right?
Because you see what I'm saying? And I'm not trying to discredit God. I'm not trying to discredit Jesus. I'm not trying to discredit Moses, Apostle Paul.
But I think God will welcome it.
I think God let's will welcome talk about it.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
No, I think God will welcome why sometimes. You know what I'm saying? I think that's valid when you really want to know. And he doesn't say because I said so. You know what I'm saying? He tries to show you the reason even. And you may not know the reason right now, you know, and there's some level of trust. But I think that communication a lot of times, or lack thereof, was out of fear. You know what I'm saying? It's like, don't ask me too many questions, because that's what happened with me. I started asking too many questions. And like, you know, then the goalposts would be everywhere. It's like, oh, with jazz music, it ain't no lyrics. So I'm like, huh?
Like, somebody talk to me.
What we doing? What we doing, man?
I never had that growing up.
Yeah.
I never had, which some would say, and that's the reason why you are how you are. It's like, nah. But if I could redo it again, I wish I had the words to ask my grandmother. I wish I had the words to ask my dad, like, Pop, like, I'm not struggling, but I'm just curious to kind of know, like, your stances on this with a valid explanation. Mm-hmm. And just because I said so was always, or the Bible says.
Yeah.
Yeah, but just like you just mentioned, that's taken out of context A little bit. Because if you read the whole scripture and not the passage,
Yeah.
or just the stanza that you're speaking about.
Yeah.
Like folks are always like, Jesus wept. Yeah, but why did Jesus cry?
Yeah.
You know.
No, I think at its very worst, like at the most cynical, you can use any scripture to justify almost anything, right? I believe in the truth, but I think that is supposed to be judged and balanced with your relationship with God. You know what I'm saying? I think we're all on our own walk. And I think the problem with religion in general sometimes is, the definition of it. It's a set of rules, you know what I'm saying? And I think that it is more nuanced than that at times, because then we're talking about, okay, these are different interpretations. These are different revisions. These are different. And so you've got to find yourself in that. You've got to find where you live in that, and where you can feel like you're living up to what your faith is in that. Because people can give you different versions over and over, and you'll be chasing your tail. So I think that's why relationship is the most important. I mean, reading the word, but the way you check that word and to know that it connects to you is what relationship. Because it's like, okay, not everybody maybe could do the career the way I did it. The way I told you, those parties didn't affect me the same way, because I didn't party in college because I was just trying to be in the studio. It just wasn't me. So when I got there to that level, it was like I'm gonna go to the road and make a beat or something. You know what I'm saying? It just wasn't the same thing for me. But that may not be the same for someone else. But I can't say, well, these are the rules. You know, it's almost like purity Olympics or something, you know what I'm saying? And when you're working out, like when you get serious about working out and somebody else is talking about working out and they're not consistent, you like, you know what I'm saying? Like you're not really, you know what I mean? And you start to feel self-righteous about it. Like, I know I'm disciplined, but that's you. And that's your life. You on your own walk, you know what I'm saying? And I think we don't have the sensitivity I think it's all about like, oh, I can't wait to judge you. It's almost like excitement. Like, we want you to mess up so we could judge you. And I think the love gets lost so much. And that's supposed to be above all of it.
For sure.
Is the love.
And it can kind of give hypocritical.
Oh, for sure.
A little bit. But, I want to go back to something. As you talked about your father's support, was there ever a moment where your father heard one of your R&B songs and he had judgment?
Yeah, it's funny. It's one time ever. And it was the song Wayne was on. I got the song called Lover, and Wayne was on it. Shout out to Wayne. They my first and ever major label deal, right? Like, looked out. But I'm just like, man, I'm cool. This was an era too when Wayne was just saying the P word a lot in every song. And I'm like, you know what? I'm actually okay with him saying anything but that. And sure enough, boy, I was like, oh man. So I felt, but it wasn't me. So I still was like, you asking artist, because I'm really serious about that. It's like, I don't police art. You know what I'm saying? It's like, if I'm asking Wayne to be on this, he can come as himself. That's on me. You know what I'm saying? Now I could have said, oh, I don't want to put it, but I had waited so long for that verse. I'm like, verse going through. Yeah.
Dwayne caught.
Yeah, it's happening. And but I think what it was the pressure of these pastors were calling my dad. And he was like, son, what I'm hearing, they say you got this filthy, what you say? I was like, well, Dad, I'm not saying it. I was like, I got Wayne on the song. But that was literally the only time we had that conversation. But I mean, that was funny to me.
Yeah, man.
But yeah, that is one
time.
How
would you, like, because now I empathize with you more so than the other, because it's like, how would you go about saying, hey, yo, Wayne, can you?
Yeah. At that point in my life, because I had some OG artists come to me after that, like, no, remember, you the artist, and I'm like, man, you don't know what it took for me to get this verse. Like, I've been waiting for this, and like, if I ask him to change something, he might not want to, but then also, how long is it gonna take? I've been waiting for this.
Yeah.
And so like at that time, I mean, you know, life is choices. I mean, I just felt like I'll deal with it. And I felt like he was being himself.
Yeah.
So like, it's not my job to get him to be anybody else. I thought he was gonna do like, you know, like if he do like a Mary J feature or something, you know, he gonna like respect it and like, I ain't gonna say this, Miss Mary J, but I'm his young artist. He probably like, he didn't know the full.
Up, let's go get there.
Manish, you know what I'm saying?
Go bang.
Yeah, and so I didn't have the wherewithal. I mean, it's whatever. Like it happened, and I'm fine with it. But it was like a learning experience too, you know.
Now,
but I didn't feel comfortable enough to be like, Wayne, can you not say that?
Knowing what you know, right? Do you think he would have?
Low key.
He would have.
Low key. Like it's two sides of Wayne, and I, you know, it's not like I've spent a bunch of time with him, but in the time I've spent with him, it's always been a cool conversation. He would seem like someone who is like understanding and like, oh, my bad, I didn't know, and would want to change it. I know that side of him, but there's also, especially at that time too, there's a side of Wayne where it's like in another world, and it's like, I'm gonna do whatever I want to do.
Yeah.
So I don't know which one I would have got, but you know, I probably at this point wouldn't be scared to have the conversation though.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I would live with whatever he said, but I don't think it's just not a definite no. Yeah, I wouldn't say that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're going to play a game called Come to the Altar and Confess.
Oh Lord. Okay. What is this?
Oh Lord. Okay. I'm going to play as well.
Okay.
This is my camera. Mm-hmm. This is your camera.
Got it. Okay.
Hold on. Look into the camera and confess the rule you grew up with that you quietly broke and never told your father about. And now is the time to confess.
Oh, that I never told him about? He probably knows this now, but it's like, Dad, I did start listening to other music on Sundays, you know what I'm saying? It used to just be gospel on Sundays. And, you know, I listen to whatever I want to, but I guess he knows that. I can't think of anything juicier where I didn't tell him. We talked about the tattoos, but I eventually showed them like some years later. Yeah. But I got, I got my first tattoo across the street from the church. I was too young, actually. I kind of did a 1-2. Like I was with my friend who was old enough, and I didn't give him my ID because I was 16, and so he gave him his ID, and I was like, no, I already gave it to you. And so then I got the tat. He did the tat, right? It was on my back. No, on my chest was the first one, and then I went again to get a second tattoo. But that time I didn't show my ID again, but I showed him. Nah, you remember you tattooed me already. Yeah. And so then by the next time I went, I was 18. But I'm tatted up. But I stopped pretty early because I started pretty early. Yeah. But I hid it from my parents. Like I'm talking about summer vacations and everything with the T-shirt on in the pool and all that. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
Yeah. So wait, you playing too though? What you confessing today?
I don't think I'm ready to confess.
Hey man, it's time. This your game.
I ain't with all these reindeer games. Man, I don't think it's appropriate.
Okay. That's fair. Dad, you grown? Come on, man, you grown. Not that grown.
Dang! Well, oh my God.
Oh man.
So they said, you know, people always say, Cam, you look too honest. I'm like, Bumpy.
Yeah.
Come as you are.
There you go.
Well, Bishop Newton, I would like to confess that, oh my God, this is bad.
I love this.
This is bad.
That's that real Pops hold right there. You're a super grown man.
This is really bad.
Yeah.
This is bad.
Just tell the bishop, man.
All right. I got some head in the church parking lot.
Oh, at least you was outside.
But this church ground, y'all don't be talking like that.
No, I know. Nah.
You do.
And well, in our defense, all my foolishness was around there because that was the only place we could be. You know what I'm saying? So like most of the discovery, all of that was around church, man. It was.
Bishop.
I didn't get head in the parking lot.
If you're in the
Bishop,
comments and you're talking about me, don't talk about me, just pray for me.
Yeah, that's right.
Now understand this now.
Right.
I was a very, very curious child.
Yeah. Okay.
Like,
yeah.
Like a lot of people.
Yeah.
But man, I struggled with being in the church and having real emotions that I did not have the opportunity to
vocabulary or anything to even talk about it.
To talk about.
No,
I couldn't come to my dad and be like, yo, Pop, like the church thing is like, I like a girl.
Yeah.
The worldly thing is like, I'm trying to have sex with this girl.
Right.
Wait, what?
Yeah, and we didn't have that conversation until it was too late, you know, me and my dad. Because then it happened, he found out, and then it was like, he felt bad, you know what I'm saying? But then that brought us closer, actually.
Yeah.
Because we finally, I didn't wait to, I got caught, so I guess I didn't confess. I don't have to confess that now.
Y'all seen,
but he know. Yeah.
Y'all come on up out of there.
Yeah, but no, I got sat down. It's like, you gonna be with me, you know? And I went through that, but a lot of that was not being able to have that conversation though.
Yeah, man.
You know, or not feeling comfortable enough to have that conversation, a real one.
No.
You know what I'm saying?
No. And that's the thing, like, before people judge, right? And I'm not saying what my dad wasn't, because I've always spoke about how much of an impact, he's the most influential person in my life, right? But there's things that I experienced as a child that makes me a better parent now, because I opened the door of endless discussion.
Yeah.
But because I said so, is not not in my household.
Yeah.
I challenge my lady, I challenge, the kid's godmother, I challenge the mother of my children to explain, like, because they're wondering minds. If you don't tell them, they're going to result to something else
Figuring it out
to
themselves.
figure it out.
Yeah.
And I've never had the sex conversation.
Yeah.
So I'm over here like, yo, bro, like,
Just not to have it. That's all. That's the only comment.
It's not of God.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
feeling these feelings.
I'm feeling these feelings, bro.
Yeah.
And
No.
9 kids later, and it's like, the
Yeah.
devil got a hold of you.
Yeah.
No. But
Yeah.
it's one of those situations where those are always going to be my challenges to church, the old school church.
Yeah.
Because nowadays, like, people have this non-denomination of like, yo, no, let's talk about it. Let's chat, because it's a form of therapy.
Yeah.
When you have this emotion and you have somebody that's willing to listen.
Yeah. No, I think we're supposed to improve on the model, like as parents, even like I was saying, the conversation I was having with my son, where you told him he could talk to me about anything. You're not in trouble if you come in to talk to me about it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You're in trouble if it happens and we didn't. You know what I'm saying? And so I think that being able to communicate, I think the way of the church and the way of that old school thinking was like, if we don't talk about it, it doesn't exist.
It doesn't happen.
Or is quiet. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, that's what I mean about the music. It's like, all right, I do listen to that R&B music,
yeah.
but we ain't gonna really talk about it. You know what I'm saying? It's not gonna exist if I don't say it. And I just think that we think that is protection with not speaking about it. But what it does is it does more damage. And that's why, with PKs get a bad rap. It's because a lot of it is suppressed so much that when you get an opportunity to experience things, a lot of people go wild because they didn't have that opportunity to like even talk about it. Because a lot of times just talking through it can give you a whole different thought pattern about it.
Man, it hits home because I'm just always reminded about things that I would hear, not knowing the real root of what it actually was. And, I don't know what you heard about me. Like the PIMP. It's like, man, I'm a church pimp. Well, my mama said, wait, what you just say? Come here.
We tried to church anything.
Man, what? Don't act like a church remix won't, I just heard the
go crazy.
Let's come outside for the night. Jesus is king. Yeah. I said, dang, that's fly, but that's fiend. You know what I'm saying? Like church folk will remix something. And I was I'm a church pimp. And my mama said, boy, you are not. I rebuked that. Tell your daddy what you just said.
Yeah.
I said, Dad, I'm a church pimp.
Yeah, I said church.
Church, you know what I'm saying?
Not a regular pimp.
You know what I'm saying? I didn't know what a pimp was.
No, right.
It was just a going song that I just thought
how about I got in trouble? I got in trouble for. I remember listening to MC Hammer turn this mother out. He wasn't even saying the word. I was saying, turn this mother out. Don't. They talking about turn this what? I'm like, I ain't even. That ain't even. But I mean, that was the level
version. Yeah.
That was the level though. You know what I'm saying? Of like, that.
You got to stay in the you stepping outside.
Stay in. But we did those remixes, but I think that's because we love that music. I remember us remixing the Fugees, Ooh La La La. We did that in church. And like all of these different things we would flip because we were trying to find a way to express ourselves. But still, I'm not trying to go crazy. I'm trying to stay in here. I'm trying to stay in here. But I'm just trying to feel this freedom. You know what I'm saying?
And let's not act, before y'all judge me, church people. Let's not act like every single youth Sunday, we didn't have the selection that the youth choir is going to sing is, I believe I can fly.
Oh, man, that was a big one. That was a big one in church.
Sung by.
Yeah, Robert. I mean, but also, trouble, like raised the church.
Yeah.
Love, that was the struggle, really. Those two sides. You know what I'm saying? And so a lot of times, if we're being honest, that's why we felt him.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's because even in the R&B songs, it had a little church, it had a little something on it. You know what I'm saying? Because those gifts come without repentance. You know what I'm saying? It's biblical. It's so like when you get the gifts, they're yours.
They're yours.
You know what I'm saying? And so you can use them how you use them.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's why we felt though. I mean, my dad used to kill I Believe I Can Fly. You know what I'm saying? And not connected to that, but like, yeah, I mean, that's a real thing.
Bruh, our friend to the show, Kev on Stage, was here a few months ago.
My guy.
And I bring that up because he has stated, there's no him without your support and friendship. His comments on this show about loving gay people, his marriage, and the recent masturbation admission have gotten him in trouble with quote unquote church folk. So it's an interesting conversation to have as we're on this kind of topic of we want to be authentic. We want to repent, but oftentimes nobody wants repent with judgment. And I remember having a conversation and I showed a clip to my mother who does this amazing women outreach, MAID, right? Mothers and Daughters Elevated. And I'm like, Mom, what if
my mom does Women of Excellence, WOE. So,
that's cool.
Yeah.
Look at it.
Go ahead, my bad.
They gonna acronym you to
They
feel me?
For sure.
But I remember sending her a clip. I was like, Mom, what's your thoughts? And then she was like, well, I don't see nothing wrong. There was a very viral clip at that time, a couple years back, of a person who was struggling with prostitution. And there was a moment in church where testimony, and whether she was high, whether she was intoxicated, inebriated. It doesn't matter what it was, but you can see she was pouring out her heart of, she was tired. I'm tired of sleeping with men. I'm tired. And it was explicit. And I was like, Mom, that's why God put you in this position, to change, not judge.
Yeah.
So if you can't go to church as a form of therapy and rehabilitation, where can you go?
Yeah.
And as you're saying these things, whether on social media, whether on YouTube, whether on any type of platform, I understand that there are certain things that you can and cannot say, and it will be detoxed or regurgitated with avoidance. But I also would challenge people to say, hey, man, we're not perfect. And remember, every single disciple had something that will raise an eyebrow to, like, hold on, he's a follower of Christ, but he will kill Christians. But he's a drunk. He's, so just that whole thought process, your relationship with Kev, and just the judgmental aspect of church people.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, it feels like the purity Olympics sometimes, the judgmental Olympics sometimes. I think what's happened is a lot of times church culture, like what we know, how the language we can speak because we grew up in it, and we know exactly how it goes. That is the culture of church, and I think sometimes it trumps the actual church, what the church is supposed to be. Because like you said, if someone who's sick and going through things can't go to church, where are they supposed to go? Like, if you're gonna judge them, then where are they supposed to find?
Lost soul.
Yeah, where are they supposed to find love? And I think if you claim to be a Christian, you follow Christ. Are you looking at any of his examples? Because he talked about people like you who judge, the Pharisees. It's like, he wasn't with it, you know what I'm saying? And they judged him, for hanging with the wrong people and being around the wrong people and giving an ear to who maybe they thought he wasn't supposed to give an ear to.
Yeah.
So for me, I don't think that's my job. You know what I'm saying? I don't think it's my job to judge as a believer. My job is to love, you know what I'm saying? And I think if we just reminded of ourselves of that more, a lot of that would just go away.
Yeah.
And to understand that you're not perfect. You know what I'm saying? There's a scripture that talks about, before judge, like, get the wood speck out of your eye before you want to tell them about theirs.
He who casts.
Yeah.
First,
of course, same concept. But I think some people make that their life's mission. Who's doing wrong today? Let me. Oh yeah, all right. You're not supposed to be like that's. But I think that's something deeper. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people in church need therapy. You know what I'm saying? Need to be balanced in real life. That's what this Saturday night, Sunday morning thing is about.
Yeah.
Normalizing balance in life. Because sometimes you're so spiritual that is like no earthly good. And that wasn't Jesus. So it's like, who are you actually following? Maybe not Christ. You know what I'm saying? Because he was really earthly good in the sense that he was amongst the people.
Were you able to witness, there was something that came up not too long ago of a gentleman approaching Kirk Franklin.
Yeah.
And
condemning him to hell.
Just like, you need to repent.
And his wife.
You and your wife.
Man.
Like, what's your thoughts?
Man, confusion. I'm like, Kirk? It's like, bro, who do you want him to be Jesus for real?
Yeah.
I mean, just as someone who knows him personally, the discipline in life and like what he's able to do in real life. But also, I don't know everything. Like, none of us do.
Yeah.
None of us know what's happening behind closed doors.
Yeah.
But like, for him to think that is his job to tell Kirk Franklin that he's going to hell, I think we're so lost, man.
Yeah.
We're so lost because it's like, even if God told you that, do you think that that's the way? You know what I'm saying? It just doesn't seem Christ-like,
Yeah, I was perplexed.
It's lacking love. It's lacking love.
It definitely
And people
is.
try to hide behind that love thing and say, no, love isn't just ignoring your. It's not your job to look and find my
But God
faults.
can use anybody, and God
They
uses
want, yeah.
And
The
shout out
fruits
to-
of the spirit, we supposed to fruit by the. It's like, okay, you just want that to be your job so bad, though. You know what I'm saying?
I seen how he handled it, and he was yearning for the guy that, like, bro, I love you, bro. Like, hold
Please
on,
come
like,
down,
like, please,
because it's too. It's
hot.
Saturday night and Sunday morning.
It's
Kirk too.
hot
Yeah,
right now. You know what I'm saying? And I can't really handle you.
Yeah. Okay. When he brought up Tammy's name, Kirk.
Like,
Yeah,
hey,
that's when it.
do you not know my resume?
click,
like,
that-
I would flip
that
this switch,
switch,
and God.
Yeah. No, I think that is a bad representation.
Yeah.
Of Christ, if that's what he's representing.
Yeah.
I think that doesn't look like him at all to me.
Was there ever a moment, not necessarily a season, but a moment where you kind of, dare I say, doubted God, but questioned your existence?
Oh, for sure. I'll never forget my freshman year at Morehouse. Again, you start getting out that bubble, right? It's like, I've been here this whole time. I'm kind of, for the most part, I'm in New Orleans. I'm at church. I'm at school. Like, I got to Morehouse, and it was other people believed in other things. You know what I'm saying? And this guy asked me. I was like, "Yeah, I'm a Christian. I'm a preacher's kid." He was like, "Okay." He was like, "Why do you believe that?" And nobody had ever even asked me that, and I didn't have an immediate answer.
Yeah.
You know
a tangible
answer, like,
that,
why? And all I could think of is, like, I was born. I don't know. That's where I've been.
Who do you think you are to ask me that?
Yeah, I'm saying, like, my parents. That's my life. I don't know. I didn't choose it, actually. Yeah. I just was in it. And but for me, my faith had been real to me my whole life, though. But that is a point where I was challenged and had to go back and, like, really say, okay, I know that's my parents' God and my parents' belief, and like, why do I believe? And then I had to find that for myself, and went on that discovery, like, for myself. But that is one time where, for sure, I was challenged. I think throughout my adulthood, because that was actually challenging my faith. I think throughout my adulthood, there have been points where I challenged, like, stuff I heard in church, or like, wait, why are we doing that again? Like, or why we, you know what I'm saying? So that stuff still happens to me today, and I don't think that is, I don't think that God frowns on that. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. God is like, I'm real, so it's you could challenge. When somebody is real, they're not scared for you to challenge them or ask questions. But that one time in college is where I had to really find my faith for myself. Yeah. But there are inconsistencies that I find to this day where I'm like, me and my wife sometimes too. She grew up in church. It's like, I don't know why we do that. Like, that seems like more tradition than it has anything to do with God.
I can agree with that too. I find myself being a grown adult in the NFL where I was like, I can't put my finger on why I do what I do. It's just a creature of habitat. Go to church, after church we go to eat. Okay, cool. Right. Bible study. It was just repetition. Yep. And then my curiosity led me to, like, but I don't know the word though. I know scriptures. I know stories.
I'm hearing them. Yeah.
I know about David and Goliath, but didn't know where Goliath came from. Yeah. I knew about Samson, but didn't know where Samson came from. Adam and Eve, and the snake, the serpent, Moses' story, the king of Egypt, or not the king, the prince of Egypt, you know what I'm saying? All these different things, but as the adult me, I was like, no, I need to delve into these stories and the subject matter of following something that I know to be true. Because if somebody were to challenge me, I can have something equipped to say, no. Yeah. This is the reason.
Actually believe it for yourself.
And I'm not sure. There's a part of me that holds resentment to myself because I'm not as strict on my children as my father was to me.
Same, man. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It crushes me. And this is therapy. Yeah. That my children don't know church like I knew church when I was 10.
Bro, 19. We had the same guilt. We had the same guilt all the time.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I mean, because as it was some good to it. It was some good to it. You know what I'm saying? And it's like my kids just went to my dad's conference, and I was happy to see them there. I was like, they getting a little bit of what I had. You know what I'm saying? I like the balance. I mean, their dad is a rock star. You know what I'm saying? Like my dad was a pastor, so they have a totally different experience. And we didn't live in New Orleans for so long, so they missed some of that. Like my oldest did in Atlanta, because he was going to church with that. That's when we were before Maroon 5, et cetera, before I was gone as much. But I do feel that guilt sometimes, you know. I just have to chalk it up to things are supposed to be the way they are. You know what I'm saying? But I do feel that also, like we said, church has changed in a lot of ways too, where the opportunities for, like, I couldn't wait to get to, people talk about their grandmother dragging them to church and stuff like that. I understand that experience, like when they didn't want to. My friends were at church, like I couldn't wait to get to my boys. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And
to debrief.
Yeah, and then when I was playing, then I knew I was gonna get a chance to play. It was like, man, I couldn't wait to get to church. You know what I'm saying? So it was like a different joy to it. And all I learned being in the choir, and like all I learned just about, I mean, honestly, I'm a good artist and good businessman because of church for me, because of the service, because of understanding how serving is important. And, if you want to see something grow for you, you serve somewhere else first. And all of these things that I got that I try to instill in my kids, but I wish I had that. I mean, they're at the church. We're back in New Orleans, so it's that, but it's just a different time. So, but I can relate to what you're saying so much, man.
It's like when we go to church, and Sunday for me has become a day of nothing, where I reflect, I meditate. I find myself moving so much around so many different people and energies and different, difference in life.
Yeah.
And I've said that my experience at church is completely different than most, because it turns into, hey, let's take a picture. Hey, let's do this. And I'm like, I don't really want to do that. I just really want to get the message. And I even challenged my dad. I'm like, Pop, like when I come to church, I want to leave with something. I want to leave with a task that I need to work on until Bible study. I hated COVID for that because that was a time in my life, and I've never admitted it, but there was a time in my life where I was really into the word. And not into the word from the Sunday perspective, because that was more or less like, here's a person who's chosen to deliver a message. Wednesday's Bible study gave me the opportunity to ask the question, hey, but Moses had a speech impediment? Where did he get that from? Oh, he got that from because he was crying for so long, and he became like by the pond, and before nobody could find, it's like, yo, thought that was so cool.
Getting into it, yeah.
Yeah, like you can really discover or unravel all the mess and really understand. And it's like, my children, they know Papa. They don't know Bishop Newton. They don't know pastor. They's like, oh, that's Papa. I'm like, whoa, we in church. That's Bishop.
Bruh, this is so crazy.
So it's like, Papa!
This is so crazy.
And they're having
like them going to this conference. They got to see him in a different light, because they don't know. It's like, man, that's him. That's that guy.
I'm sorry for
this. That's Papa.
Yeah.
That's Papa to them. And there's a part of me that loves that they're detached from that. But for me, it's like, yeah, I know, like when I in that environment and stuff, I'm not your son really. I'm like what you need. Yeah. Like what you the bishop. You know what I'm saying? Like, I got you. I like what you know what I'm saying?
Saying Pop.
Yeah.
In a church setting is like, no. It's Bishop.
Yeah.
A Bishop. Hey, you want me to go start your car? Hey, and it's crazy that you understand it.
100%.
But it's hard for a person to kind of realize. It's like, it's all, I kind of get it through the athletic approach as well too. I find it so weird. And I had this example where I got to work alongside with a father-son dynamic, Norv Turner and his son, and he would always call him Dad. Yeah, where Dad wants to. I'm like, coach.
Yeah.
But it was so natural to him. It was just like, yeah, Dad was, was coming up with the scheme, and I'm like, dang, I guess.
Yeah,
that's his dad. So, and I can only imagine what a Shador feels like, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Or Bronny, you feel me?
Seriously.
Like these folks going through real situations.
Yeah.
You've been nominated for 22 Grammys, super flex.
Crazy.
You've won 6. You're in.
I lost a lot. but,
no,
just playing.
Folks ain't even
that's my
nominated.
Perspective, though. But nah, for sure.
You're in one of the biggest pop groups on the planet. Are you still trying to prove yourself, or like fight something that's like, I want to fight the algorithm?
Yeah. No, it's so crazy, man. I was just having this conversation because maybe in the last year or two, there's something that clicked where it's like, oh, whatever that thing was where I was like trying to prove something or to myself or to someone else, it's like gone. It's like gone. It's
Is
like
that complacent? Dare I say that?
No, because I'm still such a dog. You know what I'm saying? I still hustle so hard. I'm on a tour right now that's gonna go through December, you know? And that'll take me to Europe, that'll take me to South America, all throughout the US. So I still work very hard. But I guess I mean, as far as, I think when you start to get under the hood and see smoke and mirrors and stuff, it's like, oh wait, some of that stuff that I was chasing isn't even real. Like I was chasing something that was made up. Yeah. I was chasing something that was bought. You know what I'm saying? This hit or this look that I thought I could work hard enough to get, it wasn't necessarily like that. And when you start to see that, it's like, oh man, well what I've built for real is kind of like,
that's the
hard thing that's the real hard thing to do. And then, so that started to please me artistically, right? Like after Maroon, it's like, oh, I'm making my best art, cool. But then Grammys and stuff started rolling in. So it's like the thing that I wanted, in the beginning, once I stopped focusing on it and start just making what I wanted to make and not care, then I even got the things that you know what I'm saying, that I wanted. And so like, man, it started getting crazy. Like when that 5th Grammy came, I was like, all right, like, bro, what? 5 Grammy? Like, I was so happy with the 1, man, because it took so long for me to get the 1. And so like once and then 6, I'm like, all right, like honestly.
Pinch me.
I'm so, like it's almost like, yo, I'm cool, because people don't like when you win too much anyway. So I start getting uncomfortable with the winning. Like I was an underdog for 15 years. Now everybody like, you can't lose. I'm like, can't lose. Like, 22 nominations, 6 wins. How many times did I lose? But man, it just, I'm just so at peace. I wouldn't say being like complacent. It's like peace, because I want to create more than ever, I still love creating so much, but it is not to beat anybody. It's like to make the best thing I can make. You know what I'm saying? And put this beautiful art in the world. And that becomes the purpose. And touch people and like, move people, as opposed to like, oh, I need this #1 record, because I don't know what I'm competing against anyway. The algorithm, I don't know how many ads you bought. I don't know. It's like, I don't know what's real. So let me focus on when those people show up to those shows though. That's real. And sing those songs, that's real. I can see them. Real people who spent their money, like their time, which is even more valuable, to come out here for 2 hours, 90 minutes to 2 hours. And so that has become my joy. You know what I'm saying? It's just that I'm able to do it because I've accomplished, Stevie Wonder, bro, like, it's just like, that was my dream, to work with Stevie, to have a relationship with Stevie. It's like, that was my Grammy before it's like, I'm good. You know what I'm saying? I still get to do things that amaze me. Like Maroon 5, we just played Hyde Park, 50,000 people out there outside in London. It's like, my life, I'm just so grateful, man. So it doesn't make me complacent at all, but it's like at peace, where it's like, oh, I can focus on other things, and I can build other things.
Man, I want to be obedient with time. There's a lot of a couple more things I want to cover.
Okay.
You've had to watch your father, somebody you've always looked up to, deal with mental health. He's spoken about it publicly. What happened, with that kind of time and how was he able, or what have you been able to kind of experience through that you care to share?
Yeah, from my perspective, because I think I was maybe 13 or something like that. And I just remember them saying he had a breakdown. From his perspective, I remember my dad is old school in the sense of like, I mean, for me, the dad I saw in church was the dad at home. I don't mean like the laughing and stuff. I mean like the discipline. He just didn't play with God right. And he was always so worried about people thinking that he took it as a game. Like, I never want to get caught up in. And I think it was something presented where it ended up being like a shady deal or something like that. And I think he was beating himself up in his head, so much so that he could, went back and forth and had this breakdown. I wasn't there for the actual thing. My mom and them told me about it. And I just remember him coming home after being away for a while, which I had never experienced that before. Like my dad being gone, like if he wasn't preaching, but like being away. And I remember he came back with all of these songs. He said it was like spiritual warfare and stuff, man. So it was actually a little scary to me, like as a kid. Mm-hmm. I was just like, what's going on? Because he was different, Have
you ever discussed this conversation with your dad?
I think we've talked about it. We actually did, me, my sister, and him, my sisters and him did like a podcast together. Mm-hmm. And we talked about it. But I feel like we've had a conversation with it before. He's always been pretty open with it.
Yep.
But it was bipolar, he was diagnosed with bipolar disorder. And but then I remember them trying to put him on pills, and he was different. He was like very different. And I believe, because I saw it with my own eyes, he was like determined not to take that stuff. And he felt that a lot of it was spiritual on his side, and dealt with that. Mm-hmm. And I watched him come out of that and become himself again. And I think when people are truly free, they can talk about it. You know what I'm saying? I think when they're truly free, you're only as strong as your secrets. Yeah. And the fact that he talks about it so openly, I know that it was a real thing that he went through, he saw, and like got through enough to be able to talk about it to this day. So for me, it brings sadness a little bit, just because I can go back to that place when he came home and it was like kind of commotion. I remember this night when a bunch of pastors came in the house late at night and were praying and woke me up, and it was like, it was kind of traumatic, Mm-hmm. And but I mean, he's been back to my pops, for so long.
Yeah, it's one of those moments where oftentimes people get put on pedestals and not realizing that they're vessels of, the chosen, so to speak. And you can forget, like, they're human.
Yes.
So for a person that you hold in such high regard goes through, no, not Bishop, mental health, nervous breakdown.
And also they feel the pressure because when you show signs of weakness, or I don't know, or that's the danger of that, that leadership. When you can't say, oh, I'm not sure, or I don't know. Because if you don't know, hold on, the pastor don't know, I don't, like,
correct.
Well, what are you supposed to be the leader? So that's the pressure from them and the pressure from yourself. You know what I'm saying? That can become overwhelming, but I totally agree with you. Yeah. Human, man. Human.
Yeah. Let's talk about your wife, Courtney.
Yeah.
Learning how you guys kind of navigated marriage, but growing up together, she went to you guys' church.
Yeah, she grew up in the church, yeah. I knew her, I was closer to her brother. Yeah, we were junior deacons together, me and Glenn.
What?
Yeah, my guy.
At what moment did you realize, like, yo?
Yeah, it wasn't until like I came back from school. I was like, Courtney grew up. Courtney grew up. Yeah, and so I was with another girl.
No way.
Yeah. I sure was. No, and then I got, this is that church thing too. I was trying to do the right things. I was engaged at 23, and it ended up not working out. And
with another woman.
With another woman, yeah. And and Courtney was going through something right when I broke up with that girl. And so it was kind of like bonding on that. Yeah, it's like, I heard you. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But then so that was cool. So we started dating a little bit. But it was Katrina really, because I was doing both. I was playing for my dad. So I would go to New Orleans on Saturday, and I would do Sunday through Tuesday rehearsal or whatever, and then I would come back to Atlanta on Wednesdays. And so I did that every week for like years after I graduated from Morehouse. And so my flight got canceled on that Friday when Katrina was coming to New Orleans. And Courtney went to Texas for a second, but then they moved to Atlanta, and they moved 2 exits away from me. And I was like,
look at God.
We were away from everybody. It was like, set the mood then. No, for real. And that's kind of what kicked it off, where we got more serious, because we were right there, and it was like we were going through this, like people just experienced the pandemic. Katrina was like that just for us though.
Yeah.
But it's like your life changed like in an instant. You like, you don't know what's next. I remember people in Lenox, you know what I mean? Like with them FEMA checks, like spit like, I'm like, bro, you don't know how long.
Yeah.
They like, nah, we it's good, fruitful. We up. Yeah, and it's like, no, that might need to last for,
you gotta stretch.
Yeah. So it was just an interesting time, but that's really when Courtney and I like got tight. And I mean, man, we're 18 years married.
Oh, that's beautiful.
And on Christmas Day.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
What has being a husband and a father forced you to learn about yourself that music or the church never could teach you?
I mean, patience in a different way. I think music, I mean, I eventually got patient. I wasn't very patient in my career though. It was all about like getting to it, you know what I'm saying? And even church for me, it was about being on point. And, you know, with marriage, I had to understand, I mean, the biggest word is probably compromise, you know, and that communication is no because I said so in marriage, you know, that doesn't really exist. The communication is how you get through anything. You got to be able to talk about it. And the way I travel too, the way I'm moving around and experiencing so many things so fast, I got to communicate those things, because I'll like float away, you know, if I'm not like communicating those things. So I think the communication of it, but like the patience of it, the grace of it, you know, is something that I had to learn, both being a father and being a husband.
Now, you hinted toward it, but just asking it outright, what's something that you learned in church that you had to unlearn as an adult?
That no room for like that boxiness of church.
Yeah.
It's like, this is what I said, this is what it is. Don't question it. God said, you know what I'm saying? And as I got older, it's like, well, I'm not questioning God, but I'm questioning you, you know what I'm saying? A lot of times, your humanity. Because that's what, like, just like you said, my father is human. You think these leaders, but like, I'm questioning the humanity of it. You know what I'm saying? You're a human, I'm a human, you're the leader. Yeah. But for me, that's something that I had to unlearn. It's just like, I mean, even, you know, choosing to do music the way I did it was a whole unlearning experience. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Just becoming myself, I had to let off some stuff that was told to me over and over, because it would have blocked me from being who I was. You know, a lot of times we see these gifts in church and we like, oh, like we use them right. Boom, we got it. Like, thank you.
You ain't going nowhere.
Yeah, and it's like, man, I wonder how many people we kind of stunted their growth. Wow. From what they actually could have been, because we felt like this is only meant for this.
Yeah, that's a great way of saying it. I think for me, I learned how to judge in church. And I had to teach myself how not to judge out of church.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like today, I don't judge a person, whatever their story is, prostitute, drug addict, you know,
You're not wrong.
I
Just
just
way more judgment in church.
yeah. So I'm curious to talk. Like what made you do that, bro? Like, hey sis, like why are you doing this? No. I'm not asking to say like you ain't supposed to be doing that. I'm like,
want to
what?
know why.
Like I don't judge the branches of the tree. I want to get to the root of it. Like where did this come from?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I think with that outlook, it has been able to have some of the most dopest conversations caught off camera that has impacted and it made the man in me evolve.
That's real life, man.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that's, you know, like you said, how you went deeper and started asking questions or reading in a different way to try to find, you know, it's how people do politics sometimes. It's like, oh, I caught a soundbite, or I like their personality, or they do speeches, but you don't really dig into what the policy. What are you actually trying to do? What do you know what I'm saying? And I think when we get into that, we can make better choices, you know, informed decisions. But yeah, that judgment, man, I think that's something that we really, I like I said, it's almost like a prideful thing, like excited to judge. And it's like, that's literally the opposite of the message. So no.
Now, one of the coolest things that I read about you is you wrote the theme for Disney World's Tiana's Bayou Adventure. And now there's all this conversation about a live action movie for Princess and the Frog. Being from New Orleans, who would you want to play Tiana if you had?
Oh, like in New Orleans? Like somebody from New Orleans?
Or who? Oh. It wouldn't matter. Like,
okay.
Is it Moana? They just had like this live.
Because I mean, Anika is amazing. You know, I worked with her on the theme song.
Yep.
So the current Tiana is a beast.
Yes.
If I had like a New Orleans girl to do it, my girl Tank from Tank and the Bangers for sure. Just because she
it fits.
She's it. Like she gets it. But that is one of my like biggest honors, you know, in my life. I got to bring my daughter. I forget how old Peyton was when we went on it, but like, first of all, Tiana's the only American princess in Disney. But then, of course, the only black princess in Disney, black character. Yeah. And so for them to tap me for not, because I always dreamed of writing a song for a Disney movie, but not a ride, you know what I'm saying, that's going to be there for 30 years. You know, like my grandkids are going to be able to ride this and say, you know, I don't have no grandkids, but I'm saying like, but like, you know what I'm saying? They'll eventually be able to see that. I mean, it was crazy, but I heard about the live action, so I'm excited to see.
You know, the great book says that, you know, your gift will open doors or make ways for you.
Make room, yeah.
Yeah, and, you know, my last question is, what's Paul Sylvester Morton Jr.'s legacy through how you want it?
Man, I hope that it's freed people. I mean, because I'm free, you know what I'm saying? Like, and that's been my whole goal is to get free. Now, I used to think free meant, oh, I'm going against I'm doing whatever I want to do. Yeah, that's not really freedom, because even in my music, it wasn't until, even in my R&B and soul stuff, it wasn't until, because I used to say, oh man, that's too churchy, or nah, let me not do that. That's gonna make people think this. But it wasn't until I was my full self in this music that it really started to connect with people. And so I see myself in other artists. I see them being free. You know, I see these churches having singles night and marriage, you know, like stuff that didn't exist when I was coming up because it was seen as wrong. And so, you know, I hope the legacy is that whatever, you know, right or wrong, learning lesson, whatever, that I was free and I was trying to be myself. I did it my way. You know what I'm saying? Stuck to my guns. Yeah.
I'm sorry, but this just came up.
Yeah.
Why didn't you feel, or have you, to be kind of like the next incoming pastor?
Yeah. No, I had no desire. And, I
Still.
mean, oh no. No, I'm good. You know, my dad told me a long time ago that you don't have to, you know, like your way of reaching people doesn't have to be like mine. You know, he freed me from that. I mean, I wanted to be that when I was little, because I mean, I thought that's what my dad was the coolest to me. So it's like, I used to tell people I'm gonna be a preaching drummer. I don't play drums or preach today, but that's what I thought, you know. But you know, that's a call. That's a call that that I would take seriously. And I never, people used to ask me if I was running. They're like, you running? Don't you be running? Yeah. And I'm like, no, I feel like I'm being exactly what I was created to be. And I see the fruit of that. You know what I'm saying? Like the fact that I'm being rewarded for being whoever I was, because it wasn't always easy, not being edgy enough for the R&B stuff, not being gospel enough for the gospel stuff. And so, being exactly who I'm supposed to be.
Say less. As we end things here at Funky Friday, when I say all together, we're going to say one love. When I say all together, we're going to say one love. When I say all together, we're going to say what?
One love.
All right. I'm going to give you instructions to go to this camera with one finger, go to that camera with one pinky, and finish with our camera with one thumb. And when I say all together, we're going to say what?
One love.
Here we go. One hand out.
All right. So wait, I'm doing a pinky. What happened?
Yeah, oh man. We could do a man.
So wait, I need the instructions one more again.
One more time.
I put the one right here, I put the pinky here, and I put the L here.
God is calling you to tell you. No. But listen, when I say one finger, we're going to go to this camera.
Okay.
When I say one pinky, we're going to go to this camera.
Got it.
And then when I say one thumb, we're going to go to that camera. And when I say all together, we're going to say
one love. Boom.
You ready? One hand out.
I think so. Yeah.
One finger. One pinky.
Oh, I got it.
There you go. It's okay.
Yeah, no, I see. You keep them up.
Let them use you.
Put it up and stay up. No, I got you. No, I got you. Okay. Got you.
It's just an additive.
No, I got you.
Here we go. Let it multiply. Let me stop.
I got you.
Here we go. One hand out. One finger. One pinky. One thumb. All together. One love. Ladies and gentlemen, PJ Morton.
My God.
Thank you,
Thank you, man.
Yes, sir.
Nah, man. Appreciate it.